when I go on a network, this is the first thing we check usually because it accounts for, I would say right now, about 90% of the time it works. It's based on recent research the last couple of years, and it deals with Active Directory certificate abuse. So there's a lot of new research that came out around this, not too recent past. And essentially what it involves is attackers identifying permission abuse paths that allow them to control certificate templates in Active Directory. And this allows them to basically request a certificate as anyone. We probably request it as maybe a domain admin or somebody with a high level of privilege, depending if you don't want to get caught using a domain admin. There's a lot of things to this. You can basically I've seen instances where in Active Directory, you have a group called the Everyone group, which as you might be, as the name implies, everyone's in it. So effectively it's everyone. They have the ability to modify the certificate templates. Well, that's really bad because you can configure them to be vulnerable. You can configure them two things: that anyone can enroll, which means anyone can request a cert, right? And then you have the other object, which enrollee supplies subject. Now, what that means sounds confusing, but what it means is I, as the person requesting the certificate, can supply the name of who I want the cert to be for. So I can say, hey, give me a cert for the domain admin. Thank you, please. And you can run off with domain admin privileges from anyone in the network. I see that all the time. I should say 90% of the time, this gets us domain admin out the gates. How do you evaluate this? There's 2 free tools to check out. They take about maybe a minute to run, maybe less. Certify and Certipy. These will run on a domain connected system or with credentials from Linux, but you can run it right from Windows. You probably will have to have an exception folder for your EDR, and they will print out their vulnerable certificate templates for you to look at, and they give you the necessary information on how to secure them. So it usually involves modifying the permissions to that template or changing the template around. But this is a big deal. And if you do this on your network right now, if you're seeing this and have no idea about this, either run it yourself or have one of your security engineers run this, and you can identify critical risk out the gates probably today.